Spartans, here's a home alternative posterior strengthening program that you can add to your current routines to help you keep yourself mobile and healthy. The first exercise we have is going to be the hamstring stretch. We interlock our fingers and place them directly on the hamstring slightly above the knee. We don't want to place them on the knee itself because if we lock out our leg rather than giving a slight bend, people tend to usually have a burning sensation which is caused directly from the tendons. So give yourself a little bit of slack, pull from the hamstring, get a good stretch while keeping your back completely on the ground. Now we can enhance this stretch by actually using towel or band, in which case now this allows us to go ahead and actually lock out our leg due to the extra tension that we can use by pulling from our upper body and allowing us to feel the optimal stretch. This does not place direct tension on the tendon as we're getting the force from a different angle. So giving a good pull, you can still get a great stretch. Now the pure former stretch is going to be a great glute stretch. It's also known as the figure four. You interlock your fingers on the shin opposite of the leg you're stretching, so in which case we're stretching our right. Now, this is a great stretch for the glutes in particular because it really hits the muscles that are deeper inside the glutes that we cannot really palpate. And depending on our lifting technique, if we tend to have some back problems, it's normally because some of these muscles are inflamed. Now, say for example, depending on your pain tolerance, if you cannot get into that position, we have a modified version for you. You can go ahead and place your hands directly on the knee that you still want to stretch, get yourself into that position, and slightly pull it across your body, and over time try to get yourself into those deeper positions. Now that we've gone over our stretches, let's go over some activation exercises. Our glute bridge march is going to be a great exercise not only to maximize glute activation, but also at the same time it allows us to identify weaknesses that we may have either by motor control, by the way we are able to control our limbs, but also at the same time weaknesses depending on our strength capabilities from one muscle on one side to the next. So if you tend to feel maybe more isolation on one leg than the other, it may be an indication of why you may be having some hip pains either in the front or the back, or why your glutes might not be firing properly. Our other favorite exercise is going to be the side lying clamshell. The reason why we enjoy using this so much is because again it also isolates the glute by externally rotating our leg from our hip, which tends to be a major problem for a lot of people, particularly causing pain in the front of the hip and slightly in the back. If we can strengthen the glutes, we can go to maximize the output, particularly within our squats and our deadlifts. The key here is to make sure that you keep your feet connected together as you directly externally rotate the leg from the hip and maximize squeezing the glutes throughout the entire motion.